Hey guys, namaste, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, festive season is all around the corner, and today's makeup is going to be everything that a festival needs. So, it's glam, it's shimmery, it's elegant, it's classy, it's Indian. So, without any further ado, let's get into the video. I've done cleansing my face. I have added some rose water, lip balm and some serum on my face. So the next step that I'm going to do is my moisturizer. I use Lakme Peach Milk Moisturizer. So to get a really flawless base, moisturizer is really important. This is the amount of moisturizer I'm going to take. And just... So moisturizing your face is really important to get the flawless base. So use your moisturizer twice a day. So if you're going out, add some good sunblock or sunscreen. So today I'm not going to use sunscreen because I'm going to stay. Even if you stay at home, make sure you use a really good sunblock as your skin doesn't get damaged. So the next step that I'm going to use is my primer. So instead of primer, you can also use your petroleum jelly. This is the amount of primer that I'm going to take. I'm going to just fill in my pores. So if you want a matte finish, make sure you apply this to entire face. I'm just going to cover my T-zone because that's where my makeup, goes wrong. So I'm going to add the primer onto my lids and under my eyes because I'm going to use concealer and lot of eye makeup. Next thing that I'm going to use is a color correction. So only if you have a really intense color correction, do it only at that point of time, or else color correction is not really necessary. I just have a little under eyes and here and there. So I'm going to use a orange lipstick. So color correction is very helpful for your makeup. So for me, I have a little bluish tints here and there. So if you have a bluish tint, make sure you use something that's orange or peach. If you have redness, make sure you use a green color corrector or a yellow color corrector. So I'm going to use a lipstick, a typical lipstick. This is what my orange look like. It is very intense, but I'm going to, just use it a little bit because I don't really have very dark circles or something. I just have it a little here and there. But my entire face has a blue thing, so orange is more than enough for me. If you want, you can also use blender to blend this in. So color correction is one such thing which gets a lot of difference onto your face. So the next thing I'm going to use a MAC Matchmaster, foundation. Why I didn't use my sunscreen, though I am staying inside, because this foundation over here has SPF 15 and that's more than enough for me to stay at home. So I'm going to use a little. So even foundation, you don't have to layer a lot. You just have to build it a little bit. So I'm going to use a blender. This is not a damp blender. If you want, you can use a damp blender. I am just going to use my fixing spray onto this and let this settle. I'm going to use stippling brush to apply and blend my foundation. So that's how I do my foundation. And for me, this works. For those of you all doesn't like brushes, make sure you use your blender. I use both. So this foundation gives you very natural skin-like, a second layer of skin-like finish. It gives you that thin layer. So I'm going to build my foundation a little. you might feel it a little cakier in the initial stage, but once your makeup is done, it looks very seamless. So I've done a really good layer of foundation. I feel this is more than enough for me. So you cannot see any spots on my face, and it gives you that dewy kind of an effect. So the next thing that I'm going to use is my concealer. It's Ronzilla liquid concealer, if I'm pronouncing it right. It's in the shade 2. This is very affordable and it does your job basically. It doesn't have really good coverage and all. It does your job. So I'm gonna just lift up my eyes a little, and I'm just gonna highlight my mid face. And for this one, you cannot use brush. If you have very small brush, only at that point of time you can use. And while applying concealer, make sure you blend it outwards and upwards. And also make sure you just tap, you just don't drag it, because at that point of time there is a lot chance for your concealer to crease. So the next and the very important thing is setting your makeup. I'm gonna use a loose powder. You can use a compact powder also, but I like using loose powder. I'm a fan of baking. I'm just gonna place my powder under my eyes and wherever the points that I used my concealer. If you need a lot of high coverage, only then baking is necessary, or else just setting your face is more than enough. So this gives you a matte kind of a finish. Well, I'll show you the difference between a stippling brush and a powder brush. So this one is a stippling brush. This brush over here has a very soft and even kind of bristles. So this is how a stippling brush looks like. This is used to blend your foundation, and this is a powder brush. So powder brush is almost like a stippling brush, but it has this rounded bristles on the top, and these are the brushes used for your foundation and for your powder. So I have set my face. So my base is done. It is very seamless and perfect. If you do your base in this way, it's going to stay for hours together. But another thing that is very important is to use a fixing spray. So I'm using an Insight makeup fixing spray. Has this make your makeup last for a longer time. So once you apply your fixing spray, you can leave it to dry. But what I like to do is I just dab my beauty blender so that it seeps in very well and my makeup sets really well. And yeah, that's how you ace your base.